So Alexa Philippou revealed something today about the WNBA, what the WNBPA have offered for players. It says here, the WNBA's latest proposal includes an uncapped revenue sharing model that would include raise max salaries above 1.3 million, growing to over 2 million, nearly 2 million over the life of the deal. I don't know how long it's going to be. And raise the average salaries to 530k, and then 770k over the lifetime of the deal. If I'm not mistaken, the average WNBA salary is about 120k. They are basically 6xing everything. And the minimum salary becomes better than the maximum salary. There is no way. Like, first of all, players, go fight for what you want. There is no way this can be that far. The way the WNBA are characterizing the money. Well, by the sounds of things, the WNBA are not budging on the revenue split at all. And that is the one thing they will never get. Like, everything else the WNBA can get. The reason why WNBA won't get the revenue split is, as we know, the league doesn't have 100% ownership. Is the reason why they're not going to get it. And if that is a non-negotiable, the WNBA is just not going to exist. And we can be honest. But we're now at the stage where I think we can say this, that the WNBP players, with this being the salary, and by the way, again, I'm not just saying the players snap your hand off and accept this salary or anything. Like, the reason why, again, the players can't get 30% of the revenue because the operating costs are so high right now. And the amount of revenue that's brought in versus the operating cost is not big enough to give the players the percentage they want right now. It's just not, because this is an ownership group that has been eating losses for 30 years. And even though, yes, maybe in 15 years in the future, if the league continues on its growth, these teams can be profitable. The problem is, and it's a big problem, is that while, yes, franchise values are going up, this, like, giving the players the revenue split they are asking for will guarantee them operating at a loss for the foreseeable future. And by the foreseeable future, I mean guarantees it at an operating loss for probably a decade. During this TV deal anyway, which is 11 years. It's pretty much guaranteeing that they're losing money over these 11 years. And I don't know. I think it's one of those things where it's hard to, if you argue for the players. By the way, the players are bringing in so much there are players that are bringing so much fucking money, but there are players that aren't. There are teams that even with the new TV deal, like people don't realize in terms of the revenue, the TV deal money basically pays for charter flights. It's as good, like, the league gets whatever it is, 200 million a year. 80 million of that goes to the league, and charter flights are probably going to cost about 60 million. So all that new TV deal money that people are talking about, that's just pays for the charter flights. It is a problem that running this league in terms of getting players from A to B costs no less in the WNBA as it does the NBA. But the NBA draws in 40 times the revenue. So the operating costs are similar. To run a practice facility, men's and women's, is very similar. To build a practice facility costs the same, whether it's men's or women's. And apparently there are some standards that they want to set. They want to set these standards. And it's at the stage now where I'm like, the league's responses are literally just seem to be the case of like, every time the players come out and are basically like, oh, this is a slap in the face, the league aren't taking us seriously. And then suddenly you're like, 600% increase in pay. And I'm like, there is no way you can argue that this is a slap in the face. But the players are. And that's one of the things where it's like, I understand nobody's dumb enough to not play this league. But it's getting to the stage where you're like, shit, this is like, it's now getting to the stage where this is a game of chicken that if you lose, not only are you fucked, and that's the majority of players, because let's be real, a 770,000 average salary. If you end up being if you were, let's just say, I'm just going to think who's drafted around 2015, and was decent, maybe like an Izzy Harrison. I know she had some good years, but Izzy Harrison in her WNBA career over 10 years probably made like 1 million maybe. Due to overseas and everything else she played in, she probably made another little bit more than that. Let's just say 1.5 million. So maybe she made 2.5 million over her career. A player like that. And look, if you're making 2.5 million over 10 years in a normal job, that's good money, but like you're not going to have, again, any sort of generational wealth out of that. Like you're not going to be able to retire afterwards. If you are an average WNBA player, and let's be real, like, if you are bang average, you're probably making thereabouts league average. And if you are a player that's a freshman or a freshman high school right now, and you become an average, and you end up growing up to be an average WNBA player, and you spend 10 years in the league, you're probably making 8 million from just playing in the W, with endorsements, with everything else, over your 10-year career. Instead of making 2.5 million with playing overseas, you're probably making 10 million without playing overseas. So it's at the stage now where if you make 10 million over 10 years, by the way, without playing overseas, and you're smart with your money, it doesn't matter what your taxes are. If you are smart with your money, $10 million, you are set for life. Well, like, we can be honest here. $10 million, if you're smart with your money, if you start blowing it on bullshit, no, you're not going to be. You can very easily lose $10 million. But at the same time, if you're smart with that money, you can be set for life. And you won't have to work another day for the rest of your life. And a CBA not happening, or the players going on strike and there not being a 2026 season, means every one of these offers is never happening again. They're not going to come back and say, okay, yeah, we're going to give you the revenue split that you want. The fact is that it becomes it's really difficult to give the revenue split. The teams could literally offer an amount of money that is an equivalent to the revenue split they want. But the reason why teams won't do that is that for teams to not work at an operating loss guaranteed, there needs to be some sort of structure. As well as that, if there's a constantly fluctuating salary cap, it's at the stage where if it's in a year-by-year basis for the revenue sharing of the entire salary cap, it means that if the league's growing, everyone's going to sign one-year contracts. And if they see the league failing, people are going to sign long-term contracts, which they can't afford. Like, you're going to see you're going to start seeing the salary cap going up and down and up and down. The salary cap might actually go down. Like, if the salary cap goes down, what the fuck are we doing then? What's happening then if the salary cap goes down? Like, it's a mad one. But look, this is a game of chicken. This is a crazy amount of money right now to turn down, based on, again, the league's, regardless of how much the league is bringing in revenue-wise, and the league's bringing much more revenue-wise now, the league is still operating at a loss. Because the operating costs of this league are going through the ceiling. And then, obviously, the players basically want everything. It sounds like the players are not compromising in any way, because that's literally what the league are saying. You had Caitlin Clark basically just being like both sides of compromise. And by the way, I think the league are being shady. I think the league are absolutely being shady. I'm on, people are like, whose side are you on? I'm on the side that gets us playing basketball. And it does appear that the WNBPA are thinking that Twitter wins equals revenue, and it doesn't. Long term, a strike, short term, a strike, short and long term, a strike will destroy women's basketball as we know it. Like, every bit of momentum that this sport has been getting is gone. Like, it's gone. We can be real here. And if there's a strike, It's not that there's not going to be a 2026 season. People are like, see you in 2027. There's not going to be a 2027 season. How the hell are the players, is the league going, why would, I say not how? How is it that if the owners can't manage to find a way to get the money together or the revenue split and everything that the players want, a year of zero revenue with still crazy operating costs, from billionaires who can just take the hit in a lot of situations and just say this shit's not worth the hassle. And by the way, they're getting into bed with all the NBA teams. They're saying, oh, they're not letting you sell teams. And by the way, if you guys don't understand, the valuation of franchises is going to go through the floor because of what's happening in Connecticut. It is the league will not let you sell a team. So it doesn't really matter what the hypothetical value of a franchise is. If the league will not let teams sell, like if the league will not let owners sell a team to billionaires in the same state 40 miles down the road because they basically just want to force a team to go to Houston, and you're not allowed to sell a team to anyone but Houston, and Houston don't want to pay market value for a team. Like Houston don't want to pay market value for a team. And you are not allowed to sell to anyone other than Houston. So, because you're not allowed to sell to anyone other than Houston, and Houston won't pay market value, you are not allowed to sell a team for market value. And the league said, oh, we'll buy the team, and then we'll go and sell it to Houston. The league won't pay market value for a team. So you're basically missing, and it's not even close, it's like 100 million under market value for the Connecticut Sun. It's like 100 million under market value is what you're going to make. Like you literally cannot sell a team unless it is to Houston, who won't pay for it. You are not allowed to sell a team. So all this franchise value doesn't mean shit when you are not allowed to sell a team. So yeah, if we're being honest here, like the league is going to offer players a shitload, like a lot more money. And the league is not going to offer the players the revenue split because it guarantees them losses till the end of time. And the league will, like when it comes to the players are going to hopefully make as much money as they can. Look, this, again, I stand by this. This is a game of chicken. This is a game of chicken that neither side is going to win. Both sides are going to have to compromise. No side wins in a game of chicken like this. The big problem is that I think one side is trying to win. There's no there's no way you can negotiate without coming to some form of a compromise. And I always said it where it's like, I think the players are going to get the money that I always thought the players are going to get crazy money. They might get the money they want. As in, year one might be the revenue split they want, but it's going to go up a fixed amount. It sounds like there is no amount of money that the players will accept unless they get the revenue split, which is just not going to happen. Which is unfortunately not going to happen because of the deals this league made to stay alive. So yeah, anyway, that is pretty much it, lads. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, thank you guys for watching this. Hopefully this league keeps going because let's be real. My NBA shit's not doing too hot anyway. But no, I'm a cockroach on this platform. So even if this league fails, I'll find another thing to stay on. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.